Hi, this is Nelson Chua, owner of Big Time Collectibles, and you're listening to the C-List Villains Podcast, your cultivators of the comic culture.
Welcome again to another episode of the C-List Villains Podcast, your cultivators of the comic culture. I'm your host, AJ, and I'm here with Eman, Luke, Red, and we've got another special guest on the show. We've got Nelson Chua, owner of the online store Big Time Collectibles.
Welcome,
Yeah.
Nelson.
Woo! Nelson.
How are you, sir?
Doing great. How about you guys?
We're
Doing
doing
good.
good. We're doing good. Welcome to the show, Nelson. Appreciate you being on the show with us tonight.
It's an honor. It's an honor to be here with you guys.
Luke, are you
man,
drinking
honor's
another
ours.
White Claw? Is that White Claw
No.
again, Luke?
No, it's not.
Are you
Not a
gonna,
White Claw.
are you gonna bust out into poem again tonight, Luke?
It's water only. This is water, seltzer water. Not a White Claw.
Oh man.
Nelson, how's your week been?
It's been great. We just released Star Wars War of the Bounty Hunters #1 cover by Chris Sprouse.
That's a gorgeous
Oh,
cover
nice.
too. I saw that. That's beautiful.
Thank you. I chose Chris Sprouse just because he's been doing Star Wars for a while, and I think it's fitting that he does an exclusive. So I gave him that opportunity.
Awesome. And what about you guys, the rest of the Villains crew? How is your guys' week going? Red?
Oh, me?
Go
Yeah,
ahead
sorry.
and
I'm trying to unmute. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, busy day. Busy day at work. Busy at home. Busy because we're building a lot of houses out in the Bay Area. So
Oh, nice.
plus we're running out of wood. So if you know about the lumber market out there, if you're
Yeah,
into
wow.
like features, go buy some features on
Yeah,
lumber.
go buy some wood.
Yeah, it's going up.
Yeah.
All right. So this went from a comic book podcast to investing in wood. Okay, I hear you, Red. Gotcha.
Hey, wood. Book pulp turns into paper. Paper turns into comic books.
Ah,
That's right,
I see.
baby.
All right, there you go. That's how it works.
And what about yourself, Luke? How's everything going?
It was a good week. This week was the week for my brand new baby, Nelson. If you don't know about me, I'm a COVID fired teacher. I left teaching during COVID, and I had to start a comic book shop, not because I necessarily wanted to go full time, because I didn't have a choice. But as you know, our families are this kind of nebulous, weird, judgmental entity mixed with people we love and cherish and want to be around all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the whole reason why we do all this comic stuff. I mean, Nelson, what you're doing, selling comic books. I've been in back issues for 10 years. Now I'm doing new books for the first time. It's all, in the end, like Red said, we sell paper. Paper is comics. Comics is paper. We're paper salesmen at the end of the day. I mean,
Wait. Michael Scott was also a paper salesman. Wasn't
Yeah, are we
he?
the Dunder Mifflin of comics? Is that what it
we're the Dunder Mifflin of comics.
You get
Eman,
your,
definitely. Eman's Phyllis for sure. AJ.
Look, when did you get your diamond account?
What's that? My diamond?
Yeah.
I'm placing my first order tomorrow, actually.
Ooh.
My very first order.
Congratulations, Luke.
Yes, my very, very first diamond order is being placed tomorrow. And then they said they'll make a decision after that. So I still could be kicked off.
Crossing the
I'm just kidding.
fingers. Let's see if that works
You
out.
should be
for
okay.
you.
I'm talking to Courtney at Diamond. We're good. We've had a good long conversation.
Awesome. And last but not least, Eman, how has your week been?
Week's chill. Week's good. 4-day week for me. Tomorrow I have off. I'm headed off to Tahoe, spending a little bit of time away from the hustle and bustle and just hanging out. And I'm bringing my comics with me, so I'm going to be relaxing in Tahoe this weekend.
For
with
the
comics.
record, it seems like every weekend you're
doing
getting
something.
out
Going to
into the
Tahoe.
hustle and bustle.
I'm
So,
doing
I mean,
something. I'm out and about. I got my shot, so I'm fully
No,
vaccinated.
no, no.
So
Eman, what side of Tahoe though? North, south?
South Tahoe, we're gonna stay in the Nevada side. So
Yeah, we knew it was south for Eman. We knew it was south. Okay. First of all, we knew it was south. We knew you weren't going to hipster
we're
north.
gonna go hipster north. We're going south. So we're gonna hang out in Tahoe this weekend, and like I said, I'm bringing my comics. I haven't caught up on my comic reading this week, so there's quite a few books that I want to catch up on.
gotcha.
Spider Shadows. That's a good read for this week.
Look, Nelson went ahead and promoted Spider Shadows right there. I saw that at the LCS also.
That's a good read. I love it. I just read it yesterday.
I've not heard of that one, but
Yeah,
that
it's
sounds cool.
you know, I
It's a what
passed
if.
on it. I've
Yeah.
heard it's good, but I'm not gonna lie, I passed on it because I'm like, I don't understand. It's a what if Spider-Man or Peter turned into Venom, but I'm like, well, he kind of
Already
was
did.
in a way with the black suit, but yeah.
It's well,
Yeah, good call.
hearing that this is a good Spider-Man book is much needed because I've been hearing that all the Spider-Man books as of late have not been great. So if this is a good Spider-Man book for the Spider-Man fans out there, go get it. Nelson went ahead and okayed it. You guys do it. Go get it.
Yeah. All right, guys, let's move on to the show. Again, we've got Mr. Nelson Chua, owner of Big Time Collectibles.
The king.
The king, yes, the king.
Yeah, he's one of the comic kings.
Yeah.
Who is?
He's on the
You are,
show.
Nelson?
You're one of the kings in this
Yes.
realm right now. Nelson, you've taken so much of my money as of the last year. Trust me, you're one of the kings. You're good.
Look at the wall behind you, Nelson. I mean, come on.
Yeah,
All those Miko Suyan original art. See the
all
snake
over the
eyes.
art.
That's a
Yes.
Snake Eyes Endgame right there.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
That is beautiful.
Hundreds of thousands of dollars right there.
He's just showing off, is what he's doing. I love it.
Yes, that's exactly what it is.
You do it at Nelson. Show it all off, man.
I'm a kid at heart, by the way. I like Transformers, Masterpiece, and all that kind of stuff.
Oh no.
I'm crazy about Transformers.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're a real Filipino, you know who this guy is.
Is that Voltez?
Voltes
Voltes.
5.
Oh, Voltez! Yeah.
I thought you were gonna show us the big spoon and fork. That's what
Exactly.
I was like, well, oh, you got that in the
This
room
big
over there?
spoon and fork. That's in the kitchen. That's in the kitchen. That has to be in the kitchen.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay. He's gonna check if we've got the big spoon and fork. All right. Okay, Nelson. We wanted to get the show started and ask you pretty much if you could give us your brief history of how you started collecting comic books and the decision to essentially start your own store. Like what was that origin story all about?
Well, we're gonna start with when I started collecting comics. Then, we need more than 3 hours to talk about that. But it's kind of short. Sure. I started in the Philippines, of course, when I was still there, back in the early '90s. Oh no, late '80s. And I'm a product and a sucker of the '90s, and you know what happened back in the '90s.
Yeah.
And then I moved in the U.S. in 2001. I met my wife Rochelle. We got married, and I migrated here. 2001, same year, and then I started a group. I don't know if anybody is familiar with Boom Comic Cards and More comic group. I started that. We grew that group. I think we were like 4,000 members and stuff, and we sell there, we advertise there. And then I thought to myself, well, this big enough group that I run, maybe I can start a website and sell comics there. And I did it. I started boomcomiccardsandmore.com, and kind of flopped a little bit. I didn't make any money. So I, closed it and left the group, and then started Big Time Collectibles.
And when did you start Big Time Collectibles?
It was 2018 when I opened Big Time Collectibles.
Okay. So
Oh,
it's
wow,
it's
that's
still
really
relatively
new.
fresh.
Yeah, it's pretty
It's
fresh.
pretty, yeah, you are right. It's 3 years.
Yeah, 3
Yeah,
years.
Yeah, I think that you had opened a store. I think was one of your first exclusives was the Miko Suya and Agents of Alice, or was it?
No, that's not my. The very first Big Time Collectibles exclusive is Kick Ass #1, and it was a cover by Mike Root, homage to Hulk 181.
Oh wow!
I love Mike.
Mike Root is
I-
awesome.
Yeah, I own probably 6 originals by Mike. I love
Nice.
his stuff.
And then
Mike-
from the Kick Ass, I think it was the second exclusive you guys have released.
After that, we did it was with Alan Qua. What the heck was that? It was Image. I forgot.
So you started the Boom Comics and Cards and then that one you said was kind of a flop. When did you close that down?
It was only like about 6 months. Because I'm one of those people that probably started way too early and do not know much about the industry.
Uh-huh.
And I was one of the people that think, oh, I have a group. I have 4,000 people in the group. If I start a website, then I'm pretty sure if half of them, which is 2,000, bought from me, I'm going to be able to, live comfortably and run a business. But it's not like that. I opened one, and I didn't get the support that I was expecting. So
Right.
it wasn't really that good. I've lost pretty significant amount of money. I'm laughing at it now, but back then I thought it was the end of the world. I was really devastated about that. I thought it was gonna be cool. One thing that I learned from that is just because you think it's cool doesn't mean you can do it or you're gonna be successful at it. You gotta really study and learn what it takes to run a business.
Right.
Yeah.
See, and
Did
they
you have
say-
a
they say that
did you have a day
failure-
job too?
I used to have a day job. I quit I turned in my 2 weeks notice, which became a 3 months notice because they don't want to let go of me to run Big Time Collectibles, in full time. But I used to have a full time job, which I had for 21 years.
So at one point you were running the full time and the website at the same time?
Oh yeah, it was hard. It was pretty hard. And as Big Time Collectible was growing and growing rapidly, I was having a hard time trying to take care of emails and shipping is starting to slack a little bit because I have a full-time job back then. So
Right.
I got to do something. It's either I quit Big Time Collectibles or I quit my 21-year job.
Wow.
And it took a lot of thinking and I only quit because my wife told me, you know what, I trust you. I know you could be successful. Go ahead and quit your job. The worst case scenario, I still have a job, and I said, okay. Now that I have her, convinced that I could, that I could do it, and she trusts me 100%. That I was comfortable quitting my job.
How long have you been married?
Okay, we've been married since 2005, but we've been together since 2001.
Nice.
She knows me. She knows me inside out.
And that just goes to show you a good partner in your relation that could help even your business.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's wonderful.
Didn't your wife say the same thing to you, Luke?
Yeah, my wife said this exact same thing to me. She said, I believe in you and I trust you.
Nice.
And for a wife to to you, a woman to say that to you as a man, that almost means, as at least for me as a man, almost means more than I love you. I believe in you. I trust you.
That's correct.
Yeah. Now, I know you're strictly online, but what's your thoughts on the brick and mortars? I mean, is that still a viable option these days, you think?
Absolutely. But the thing is, you gotta have both. You can't just have one, or well, I can say you can't just have. You can't have an online shop. You can have an online shop and not have a brick and mortar. You can do that, but it's a must if you have a brick and mortar to start an online shop. You gotta have both if you have a brick and mortar.
Right.
But online shop, and you can live with online shop and not have a brick and mortar. But brick and mortar,
very few exceptions to that. There's a few, but they're old stores.
Yep, very few. A lot of the old stores that I know of, they're telling me that they should have jumped into the website thing long time ago, because majority of the money and sale is online right now.
Yeah,
it is.
That way you reach a lot more of an audience, so you're not just local to one area or to your city, but you're reaching a whole, national and possible even global audience by having an online store.
Yep. Heck, I have more customers in New York and California than Texas, and I live in Texas.
Oh wow.
Like I said, Nelson, I live in California. You've taken a lot of my money over the last year. Thank you.
Yeah.
Nelson, almost all my customers are on the East Coast. I live in Oregon. I have like 5 West Coast customers.
See that?
I'm sorry, Luke. I know I should be a better customer. I'm sorry. I should be buying more from you too.
I never ask my friends to buy from me. I'm only offended when you don't.
Hey, I put in a pretty large order with you very recently, sir, okay? Even though
Nelson,
20 of those books are free comic book day books, I'm sorry.
Comic book day.
Nelson, I gotta ask you, since you were a collector in the Philippines, do you have that elusive ASM 300?
No.
I've been looking for that. Well, you know what? Here's the thing. I was still in the Philippines when that came out. I was, believe it or not, I was pretty young back then. And that came out, and it was 10 pesos. And 10 pesos at that time is pretty big. We're not rich in the Philippines. We're poor in the Philippines when I was still there. But I had that 10 pesos in my pocket, and I bought it. And I'm scared of my mom finding out that I bought it. It's if you guys remember, in the Philippines, comic stand is beside like a Mercury drug store.
Yeah.
There used to be that side, and there's comics everywhere, and they had it. So I bought one. I'm scared that my mom will see it. I rolled it, put it on my back, so I can read it when I get home. I usually read it in the restroom so that my mom won't see them. And then I just, pulled it back, put it on my back, and stashed it somewhere. I lost it. I've been hunting one for a long time.
I know
Which
one guy.
Which one is it? The ASM 300?
Yeah.
Is it like a Filipino exclusive?
I had I remember that I have 301. They also had the 301. What else did I have? And there's also like an Action Comics. I remember that Action Comics.
Which one is it though, Nelson? Which one is it that you had as your first one?
ASM 300 and 301. They released that in the Philippines.
I'm gonna keep my eye out for you.
I know one guy who has it. His brother-in-law has it's a beat up copy. I asked if I could buy it off of him, and he's like, no, it's got too much sentimental value because he lives in the States now, and he's like, yeah, my brother-in-law, he won't sell it. I just wanted to show it to you.
AJ, could you explain to the podcast listeners what this book is?
So it's essentially I guess you could call it a Philippines variant of ASM 300.
That's so cool though.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a reprint by Atlas, right?
I don't know who reprinted it, but yeah. And my buddy, his brother-in-law, he had told me that back then they used to have a lot of bootleg comic books, and he used to have all of them, but now they're gone. But I was always wondering how much those bootlegs cost,
And you know what? Back then when I was in the Philippines, I thought it was bootleg. I knew it wasn't an original. That's why I didn't really take care of it.
Did you have any of the bootleg comics?
No, because I thought that was the bootleg.
Oh no, but did you have any of the other bootleg comic books that had come out
I didn't
back
have
then?
that comics. I remember Action Comics, and I remember there was a Batman.
Yeah,
And those are the only ones I remember
yeah.
when I was there.
I think me growing up over there, the most of the comics I bought were westerns and love stories, and they also came out with these. They look like baseball cards, but they're 1/3 the size. So I forgot what they're really called in Tagalog, but yeah, they're little baseball cards that have the comic panels on them. And
Yeah,
you
we
collect
call that text.
decks. Yes, thank you.
This is a
So-
deep cut right now.
So definitely, you would have to buy, I think, 10 to 100 of those little cards to get the full story of the whole book. And then,
Oh man,
as a kid, everybody collected that and then traded them out because of the art.
Oh, geez. I can only imagine what those are probably worth right now.
They were like 5 pesos a piece.
Man.
Oh,
Wait, hold on.
jeez.
Let me halt the show real fast. I just want to mention Red. That is a fantastic T-shirt you're wearing right now.
Mr. Randy Watson.
I just wanted to say that. I just noticed it. I know I
Love
halted the
it.
show just for that. Red, beautiful shirt. On
Thank
with
you.
the show.
Thank you.
I love it. I love it.
If you're a fan of Coming to America, you know Mr. Randy Watson.
Sexual chocolate.
Don't get me
One
started.
chocolate.
That boy good. Good and terrible.
That's
I'm
great.
Sorry. AJ, go ahead. Sorry.
All right. Nelson, also going back to opening up your own store. This is a two-part question I wanted to ask you. The first part being, what's your advice for anyone who's thought about opening up a comic shop?
My advice is to, follow your dreams. You got to do it to find out if you can really do it. I've seen a lot of people go post it on comic group. I would like to start a comic shop. What's your advice? And a lot of people will say, don't start it.
That's
No,
silly. Yeah, that's silly. That's silly.
Yeah. I could probably understand why they're saying that, but I always believe in if you want to do something, just do it. Have a plan, just do it. Just because if you don't do it, you're getting old and you're thinking about, I should have done it. I didn't know.
Yes.
Would I fail? Will I succeed? You got to do it if you want. And if you want to start doing it, first thing you need to do is find out all the contact information. You got to know. A comic book is just not, what to do. There's paperwork, you fill it up. You got to know the people. You got to know people. And you got to,
it's so true.
yeah, you need to find the right people to trust. There are retailers you can talk to and ask for advice. There are retailers that they only look at their best interest and they will not tell you the trade secrets and who their contact people is or are, and they will lead you the wrong way so you lose money. So you
Right.
need to find the right people that you can ask questions.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And I can guarantee you, I tell you right now, there's a lot of retailers that will the wrong way.
Nelson, you are 100% right. I have calls into retailers right now. Some I haven't got a call back for 2 weeks, and I'm like, I don't have the right person. I don't know who to ask for. Other ones, I've gotten into contact with them, and now I could call and they pick up the phone on the third ring, and we have a 10-minute conversation, and I'm like, I want to change this, I want to add this, and they're like, perfect, Luke, love you, Luke, done. So it's all in who you know. It really is.
It sounds very much like you're dealing with a Hollywood agent, Luke. Is that like what's going on now? Like you're in the industry and now you are the superstar talking to these agents?
Yeah, I'm a bit of a diva, so I will need champagne at each screening. Okay.
Yeah.
I love it.
And Nelson, I know that we kind of spoke about this a little bit off air, and you being Filipino, and we've talked about how with Asian families, going into the arts, it's not really pushed for. Our families, our parents, they always push us for the more stable job. It's almost as if like it's been embedded in us to just go for the stable route and not try to be an entrepreneur. So what advice would you give for someone been in that mindset where they've been told all their life just to get that stable job so that you can just have a decent living and not risk being an entrepreneur and failure? What?
Well, first of all, there's really nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. I mean, not just Asian, but I think all parents wanted for their kids to, you know, to have a better life.
Right.
And wanted to have a secure job and you know, they wanted to be successful in life. Like I said before, you know, being an entrepreneur, it will just pop in you. You don't know if you're really gonna be a business entrepreneur unless you started young. And I'm talking, you know, based on my experience.
Yeah.
I didn't even think that I would be owning a comic book shop. I mean, all I wanted to have is a job that will take care of my family. I could send money to the Philippines and all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It just so happened that I'd learned a little bit, you know, about comic books, about exclusives. You know, I started buying wholesale from retailers and stuff. Started my website. It failed, but I found out, you know, I kind of learned from all my mistakes and restarted, and there it is. You got Big Time Collectibles now. I mean, I really don't know how it got started. I just say, you know, it just happened. You'll just know that you wanted to run a business.
How accepting was your family of you starting a business like a comic book shop, as opposed to going in the more stable route, like being an engineer or a nurse or something that's typical of a Filipino family?
Ooh.
They were very supportive, actually. But before I started the Big Time Collectibles, I was already working for aftermarket engine parts, and I've been managing that warehouse for over 15 years before I started, you know, getting into comic selling.
Uh-huh.
And it just so happened that comic selling started to get better and better each year. And you know, the transition from being an owner, being an employee, to being an owner of a company, it was seamless. It's like, you know, it just happened.
It called you.
Did anyone mentor you?
A little bit here and there. At first, I was talking to Darren Hutchinson of Unknown Comics. He taught me a lot of stuff about exclusives.
Mm-hmm.
Other than him, I mostly learned from my mistakes.
Right.
I actually learned a lot because of my mistakes.
Oh.
You know, once you made costly mistakes that cost you about up to $28,000, you already know what's wrong.
Right.
Yeah, you're gonna learn quick. Can you share the $28,000 story, Nelson?
Yeah, here's the thing though. If you're gonna do an exclusive, you decide to do an exclusive, and if you do a Marvel or a DC exclusive, that you will have to spend $15,000 to $20,000. Do not partner with a store that is bigger than you.
Oh,
Okay.
Now, why do you say that?
Because if they're bigger than you and they post and then you both post at the same time, guess where people are buying?
the bigger
From
store.
them.
Yeah.
From them. Because who the hell are you?
Yeah.
Nobody.
That's what happened to me. I partnered with the bigger, and that's not their fault. It's totally my fault. I was thinking, oh shit, if I partner with this retailer, people will notice me and buy from me. Well, guess what? Nobody would buy from you. Who the hell are you?
Oh,
They-
no.
They sold out. They sold out of it, and by the time they sold out, people are not interested in buying from me anymore.
Oh, heartbreaking.
Wow.
Yep. So I lost money there. It was like two Marvel exclusives. This is the boom comic cards in more days. And so I looked down and I told myself, I actually stopped for like a couple of months and I said, no, the bleeding needs to stop. It's over $20,000 loss. I can't put that burden on my wife. So I stopped for a couple of months and I was ready to shut the door. And then I thought to myself, you know what? I gotta follow my dreams. I already know what my mistake was.
Yeah.
I gotta learn it and do it again. Now, if I lose another 20,000, then I'm like, oh, shit, I need to stop.
Right.
This isn't for me.
Yeah.
So, but I came back, and the first book that I did was Kick Ass with Mike Root on Big Time Collectibles. I made
Number
pretty
one,
good.
baby.
I didn't sell out, but I did pretty good. I got my money back and a little bit more. And then we did some exclusive with Alan. Did good on that one again.
Alan Chua,
Hey.
right?
Alan Kwa. I'm
Nice.
sorry, Alan
Yeah,
Kwa.
the master Alan Kwa.
Nice.
Master Alan. Yep. Yeah, that's when the Ramen Gang started.
Huh.
And then my very first sellout was Kale News Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle number 97. And then after that,
Yeah.
exclusive after exclusive after exclusive, you know.
Sellout.
Kale's
after
kind of a
sellout
dark
after
horse because
sellout,
his
yeah.
work, Kale's work is like so in your face. You know what I mean? It's so bold that it is. Wow! It's just every piece he does is amazing.
Is he both digital and traditional, or
He does both. He can do both.
okay?
So you brought it up, Nelson. I have to bring it up again, and I need to hear this story. So for everyone listening right now, there is a Facebook group, and it is exclusive, just to let you guys know, called the Ramen Gang on Facebook. And apparently there's a nice, cool story behind it, which includes Nelson, Kale New, and Alan Kwa. Nelson, tell us, what's the story behind the Ramen Gang?
Okay. Well, I have a relationship with business relationship with Alan Kwa, of course. He by the time I went to MegaCon to meet him, we've done 3 exclusive already, and Daniel Scott of Scott's Collectible invited me to join them at their booth to hang around with them. So I went there, traveled there at Florida for MegaCon, and Kale was sitting beside Alan because they're both Malaysians, and you know they hang out together. And then beside him is Inhook Lee as well.
Oh wow!
Oh,
So I went there, and me and Alan were talking, and Kale was just going beside me and said, "Nelson, hey, can we do an exclusive?" I said, "Of course, man. We'll do one this year." I didn't realize we will be doing 3 or 4 that year, you know, because Kale just busted loose on Ninja Turtles.
yeah.
So that night, same night, I asked him, "You guys want to go to a ramen for some good ramen?" And they said, "Yeah." So I picked them up at their hotel. Went to a ramen place in Florida, and so we were talking there. We're not even talking comics. We're just talking, you know, life and all that kind of stuff. And
Sure.
I was with my son then, which is as old as Kale. I mean, Kale was a young pup back then. And Alan was eating his ramen. He found a fly.
Oh jeez!
That means you know it's good. Just flick it aside.
So I called the waiter, and I told the waiter, "How come there's a fly on this ramen?" And the guy was just apologizing, and he looks at me, and I'm trying to look as mad as I can, but I wasn't trying to raise. And I call your manager, and he called his manager. Manager started apologizing, and I said, "How come he's the only one that has fly? I want my fly too." And everyone started laughing their ass out. I was everyone all along, and the manager was like, you know, he couldn't figure out if I was just playing with them or being serious. And I told him, "Oh, I'm just playing with you, you know, trying to make sure my friends are having a good time here in Florida." And the guy and the manager was like, "Well, do you want us to replace it?" Alan was like, "No, I love it."
He had the ramen with the fly. Hey, whatever. whatever works for you.
That's why we became the Ramen Gang that night.
That is so it's not just Alan Kwa and Kale New and Nelson Chua. It also includes In Hyuk Lee.
In Hyuk Lee was supposed to be with us.
Uh-huh.
But that night he got so much commission needs to get done. He couldn't come with us.
Oh yeah. The list.
Yeah. Oh
No,
wow.
he was- But I don't know if you guys are familiar with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 101.
Is that the one where all of them were in the ramen house having ramen together?
Yep.
Yeah.
That was
Oh.
we were there on that cover. On the back, the top left corner, there was us there. Alan drew all of us there.
That is
That's
such an
cool.
awesome story.
Jenica on that cover as well. Jenica is holding a chopstick and complaining to. If you look closely, on her chopstick, in the middle of her chopstick is a fly.
Oh my god.
It was the story of Alan while having a fly on his ramen.
I'm gonna have to look up that cover.
So
when did you guys tell In Hyuk about the story? Did right after you guys got back to the hotel, or the convention?
Alan and Kale told Inhook about the fly story, just because at that time, if we need to talk to Inhook Lee back then, we will have to Google Translate it.
Oh, because you're still strictly Korean.
Yes,
Okay.
I'm pretty sure, but I think Alan, Kale, and Inhook can understand each other with their language.
Right. Speaking of variants, as an online store, how do you make that decision on which artists and which comic to create a variant for? Do you normally just like to ride the wave of the hot artists, or are you ever willing to take a chance, I guess, on someone who's not as well known?
That's a good question. Let's say you're doing a Marvel Comics,
Okay.
exclusive with Marvel, the first thing that I look at is what kind of ratio variant does it has.
Uh-huh.
If it has good ratio variant, that's 1 point right there to look at. And second, who's the hottest artist? You can request for the hottest artist if they're available, great. If not, then who's the second greatest artist, best artist in the market, or who's your go-to artist that you think will do good? Like when I think of Venom, I can only think of a few artists. There'll be like Miko Swine can destroy it, Kale can destroy it. Who else?
Gabriel Del
John Boy, Del Oro. I've not used Del Oro, but because he's always booked with someone.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to get Del Oro. It's very hard. Yeah, so you gotta stylist. You gotta check the art style versus the titles that you're gonna be taking. So that's one of them. And then if you're doing Image Comics or small publisher, you can take a risk. There's a dog. You can take a risk and get not really known artist. Because you're not really paying a whole lot when it comes to indie. You're probably spending $3,000-$4,000 for an indie book. You can take a chance. But if you're doing a Marvel book or DC book, and your outlay is about $20,000, you got to go for the big guns.
Right. Yeah, of course.
If you can't get the big guns, don't do it.
Yeah, wow. $20,000.
Yeah.
Because right now, I can tell you right now, if you just think it's cool, don't do it. Cool ain't gonna make you money. What's gonna make you money is the hottest, the best concept, and the right title.
The right title, yeah.
And how do you choose the titles?
Uh, that's a good question. Well, you got to check which one is being talked about. You know, being a member of a lot of comic Facebook group helps a lot. You you can see and tell what people are interested in.
Yeah.
Like this King in Black, it's all about Simba. It's all about Venom. So most of my exclusives are on the Venom side of things. So, you know, if there's going to be an event for Avengers, I'll make sure that I have an Avenger exclusive. You got to go with the flow on that one. The only time that I don't go with the flow is when I do indie. Because on indie books, it may explode, it may not explode. You know, it can be hot. You know, but the outlay, the money that you're gonna put out is not too much. It ain't gonna hurt too much.
Right. Okay. So there is a certain formula that you got to hit, really.
Yep.
Depending on the title and everything.
Well, indies are more the low risk, high reward if it's a good title, right?
Yes, that is correct. That's a good term to use there. Low risk, high reward. And for the most part, you put your money on Department of Truth, do an exclusive for Department of Truth, and guarantee you right now you're gonna make money. Look, you hear that?
You're taking notes,
I
Luke.
hear, bud.
I know, Luke. Are you taking
Do
notes
Department
over there?
of Truth, you'll make money.
The only problem is these publishers are now not letting shops jump in mid-run. They're closing it down.
You should be able to on Department of Truth.
Oh, Department? Okay. I'll ask about Department.
Yeah. That and Haha and Ice Cream Man, those are the hot books.
That's a good point, too.
Yep.
See what's hot.
Yeah.
See what people like. Jump on that right there.
You know your cost.
Yeah, the car, yeah. You still got to put out a few thousand, but at least you're not putting out 20,000.
Yep. That's if you want to do an exclusive, you don't do any Marvel or any DC books yet. Just start with a small indie, like what you're doing right now. You said you're gonna do a small print run.
Yeah, a bunny mask. It's just a very tiny print run, 100, 200, and then it's only a few bucks a book instead of $5, $6 a book.
Nelson, is it just you? Like, you don't have anyone hired help? Like, when you do the Marvel books, those are like thousands and thousands of books. So you're the only one shipping that out?
Oh no! I have 4 people working with me.
Okay. Because that's a lot of books you got to ship out.
Thousands. That's a
We
lot,
just shipped out over 700 packages today. Spider-Man, Spider Shadows #1. I don't know if you guys saw that cover. This crazy cover by Miko.
No, I didn't see that.
No, wait, what?
Wait, is it cover A?
Cover A, B, and C. I'm sold out of. I'm sold out of the 3-pack.
Oh wow. I've gotta look
Spider-Man
that up.
#1 by Miko Swyan.
He's just killing it. He's
No, I
killing the
didn't even
game.
see that.
You guys didn't see that?
No.
I've seen the one. I saw it at the shop, but that's not the one you're talking about, right?
No.
Yeah.
No, it's only at BigTimeCollectibles.com.
Yeah, I did
And our
not know that there was an exclusive. Yeah.
And our partners at the only partner I have is Slab City in UK. I do not partner with the US retailers.
Well, yeah. That's what we talked about actually too, Nelson. Is that if you're gonna partner, make sure you either partner in Canada or UK.
Yep.
Otherwise,
Yep.
it's pointless. It's just splitting your
glad-
costs to the moon.
I'm glad you understand, because if you partner with somebody in the US, you're just competing with your own book.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Do you do your own advertising as well, or
We send out emails. We send out, of course, social media stuff. Yeah, you got. That's one key. One key there is to spend a lot of money on marketing. I probably spend about, not kidding on this one, probably over $2,000 a month on just social media.
wow?
Oh my
wow.
gosh. I would have never guessed that. Damn.
You hear that,
But-
Luke?
but it
Making
works.
sure. We're gonna get you to that level, Luke. Trust us. We're gonna.
No,
help you
I
with
ran
that.
2 campaigns already on Instagram, and one was only $6. It was $1 a day. But when I looked at the professional analytics, it was like on the days I paid, it was like 1,000 people looked at your page. This day, 11 people. 500 people looked at your page. This day, 6 people.
Okay, so it works. Okay.
It works.
It works. I like
It
it.
works.
I think the way I look at it is advertising is kind of, you're trying to subliminally embed your logo on people's mind. They got to keep on seeing it, and then all of a sudden they go like, the hell is this? Let me go click on it and check. And then they say, oh shit, he got this, he got that. That's how it starts.
Yeah.
That logo, it like you said, it gets embedded in people's heads the more they see it, and you have to stay consistent. You have to constantly put that logo in people's faces for them to remember. So that way when they're ready to bite, and they're going to bite hard.
Yeah.
And it's the same reason why I have that box. When customer open the box, they see my logo.
Yeah. When
they buy a slab from me, my slab box from Comic Shield, it has my logo as well. It all have my my Twitter handle, my Facebook, IG handle. It's all in there. So people will just keep on staring at it, looking at it every time they open a box. And we do have stickers on all the envelopes and packages. My reasoning for that one is, why would I give customers stickers? What are they gonna do? They're just gonna throw that away. I'm gonna stick it to their envelope. So my logo travels everywhere.
That's smart.
Yeah.
That is.
It's a
very
constant
smart.
reminder that where your book came from this store.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I sell a couple things here and there. I always try to, at least when I mail out packages, put at least like the business card on the package, so it's just outside, so people are looking at it. The mailman, whoever's delivering it, USPS,
Yep.
The guy who's getting it, he's gonna see that it's not just some seller on Instagram. There's like a card on there, and Eman, he was cool enough to print us some stickers, and I actually give at least one sticker out to anything that I sell right now.
Yeah, and I was going around to my local comic book shops and dropping off the stickers, just dropping them off there, and just give them out to people. Just let them know that they can have it. I'm not selling it. So to get that logo or our logos out in people's faces, so that makes a lot of sense. You got to spend money to make money.
That's true. You can't sell on an empty wagon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I guess we're gonna have to get more stickers, guys. Sorry, we're gonna have to do that.
And I always think of it this way: what do you do with stickers? You stick it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Stick it.
So when my customer gets their stickers, it's already stick on their envelope.
A lot of people put it on the back of their laptops, and then a lot of people end up going to work like at a Starbucks, or they do all these things. So you want to make sure that when they open up their laptop, hey, your sticker's there showing it to somebody else who's maybe getting coffee at a local coffee shop. Marketing. You got to put it into other people's heads. Like, hey, I've seen that logo before.
Yeah. Nelson, let me ask you, what are some realistic expectations when someone starts off with an online comic store?
Good question.
That's a good question. Realistic expectation is that you're not going to be rich doing this. That you are one mistake away from blowing up and not making any money and losing everything. One mistake. And one costly mistake is doing a Marvel early.
Thank you, Nelson. Dear God, that is the best advice. Because everyone wants to do Marvel. Oh.
Yep. Do not do Marvel yet until you're ready. You have to have the cash flow first. So when I say cash flow, start a cash flow with indie books, because indie will always sell. In the hot indie book sell. Start with a cash flow on the indie, and when you had enough money that you know, okay, this money I can blow it up on a Marvel, then yeah, do a Marvel. But do
Right,
not
Marvel.
never with a Marvel exclusive on your own or partner with a bigger store, because that could be your first and last exclusive.
Yeah.
And weekly books, weekly FOC books, there's really not a whole lot of money there. Do not give a lot of discounts just because you think you might get more volume. You can do that later on when your website is popular already. But if you give away, you know, your discount on Marvel, and you're giving away 20% just to be competitive with other online shops, how much percentage you have left? You got to remember, you're still going to buy bags and boards. You still have to ship it. And your time, the time that you spend in packing everything and checking everything, the aggravation of having damaged books and, you know, getting it replaced if they're damaged. I mean, it ain't worth it. So giving discounts is cool, but there's not enough money. Even though you're getting 50%, 50% margin. I mean, what's 50%?
Totally.
$3.99.
Yeah.
I mean, you
get $2.
and you still have to check it. You spend a lot of time on comic books just by checking alone, bagging and boarding them. I mean,
Yeah, for $1.
For $1. And then a discount as well. You're killing yourself on that.
Yeah.
So do not, expectation is there's not a lot of money on weekly books.
Totally.
Oh, okay.
The money is on the exclusive. So if you wanna, of course, jump into exclusive, you have to start with indie. Test the waters. Test the water first. Okay. And also, not because the book sounds cool that it will sell. It doesn't work that way all the time. Oh, one more thing. If your book did not sell, like if your exclusive do not sell, do not ever sell it at cost or bring down the price, because your customer will now think, okay, I'm buying from people then, because I know if we don't buy, they will bring down the price. Let's just wait.
Great point.
You guys know there are retailers that they're selling their books pretty high. Guess what? Around holiday season, you could buy 3 and get 3 for free.
Yeah.
There's a lot of retailers. I'm just gonna wait. Big Time Collectibles, my promise to my customers, I don't care if I lose money, but if they buy my comic book today at $39.99 a set, whether I sell out or not, 5 years from now, go to my website, it's still $39.99. You're not going to lose your value on your comic book. You got to you got to promise to your customer that the value, you got to value their money that they spend to you. Respect their money, respect their time, respect their money.
That's a good point.
I respect your money twice, and I did that on purpose too.
Yeah. Well, it matters. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and that also, I mean, that also keeps the quality of your books, because they know that your books are always going to stay in value.
Correct. That's important.
Because that's integrity and reputation right there on the line. If you devalue yourself in your books, and then the people are going to see your value lower than lower than that.
Yeah.
Hey, you gotta when you do this, you gotta be in the business to make money.
Yeah.
Right.
Not just to be popular.
Yeah.
Totally.
And where do you see the industry going in the next, let's say, 5 to 10 years?
Oh, 5 to 10 years. I think the future is bright for comics.
Let me
Same
ask. Let me ask you
I agree.
something. And we've had this ongoing debate
Oh, here we go.
every so often. We talk about digital, and
Ooh.
do you think? And I've kind of thought about this, and I played it in my head because with NFTs and all that stuff, could there be a time when big time collectibles will have an exclusive digital cover for a comic book? Is that
No.
something that could happen? No.
No, it'll never happen.
Now, is that just your preference, or you don't think in general that'll ever happen?
If it happens and people buy it, I mean, for me, it doesn't make any sense. An exclusive cover is it got to be printed. It got to be on a piece of paper. That's the only way that I could say it's an exclusive cover. If it's just digital, I mean, it's like me doing a Photoshop of my mock-up cover and just sending a picture to you. Okay, you got an exclusive. Then here's a picture of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like okay, I'm just gonna change the front cover of this PDF to include my photo plus on top of the regular cover. That's what's usually happening, right?
I don't think that will happen. I mean, I don't know how it can be an exclusive and be digital, but it may happen, but I don't think it's gonna happen in my lifetime.
Right. So, do you think that NFTs are kind of like a novelty right now? Because I mean, people are trying to get into like digital art and making that exclusive NFTs. Like, what's your thoughts on that then?
On NFT, my knowledge of NFT is the same as my knowledge in cooking. Nothing.
Okay.
All
right.
If I give you an advice or what I think about it, I'm just guessing. But based from what I am hearing, I don't think NFT is for me. I couldn't even pronounce it. That non-fungible
Token.
Token. Yeah. I mean, who knows? It could be the way of the future, but I don't think it's for me.
Yeah, for now, just ride the wave with the paper.
Yeah.
So
paper rules.
From your understanding of the current industry, physical comics are still going to be around for the foreseeable future.
Oh yeah, and because the only reason why at first you kind of thought it was dying back in the 90s, late 90s, early 2000, but Marvel Comics and Marvel Studios paved way to making those characters popular again. I mean, all the back issues skyrocketed. A lot of new readers because of the movie, and more new collectors. Because I remember in early 2000s, I mean, a lot. By the way, I think we're almost the same age, almost all the same age here. We lost.
We're all 25, right?
Yeah, 25.
Speak for yourself. Speak for yourself, AJ. 23.
Oh, 33. Okay. You're the old man in the group.
I said 23.
Oh, 23. I'm the old man in the group. I'm sorry, Nelson. Go ahead.
Back in the early 2000s, you could all agree before Iron Man was shown, you all lost interest in comics. There was a point that you guys are not buying comics anymore.
Oh yeah, nobody. Yeah. I wasn't.
Yeah.
Well, because we hit college and after high school, it wasn't that cool anymore. And
girls,
chicks became a became a priority.
I
wanted to have sex again. Okay.
I've told stories off camera about how I was ashamed to admit being a comic book collector.
See, now you could be a collector. You could be a nerd, a geek, and you could go and you could find a fellow geeky, nerdy girl. In 2004, you couldn't do that.
2008,
you couldn't find them.
in 2008 was the rise of the nerd. It was the rise of the geek when Iron Man came back out and everyone was all about it. The rise of the geek happened in 2008 and it's still continuing on right now, in my opinion, and I love it.
I've told this
Now,
story.
If you're a geek now, you're cool.
Yeah,
you're cool.
Yeah.
You're the ruler.
I mean, I've told this story, I think maybe the first or second episode. When I went to my first Comic-Con, which is not that long ago, it was maybe within
Last 6 years.
Yeah, within 6 or 7 years. I had always wanted to go, but my friends, they would have been like, what the hell are you talking about? We're not going to a comic convention. And then I finally went with a buddy of mine, and it was my birthday weekend, and I'm down walking around Gaslamp, and I'm yelling at everyone saying, where were you during the dark times? I mean, and my buddy's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, these guys were never here. They weren't there when it wasn't cool. And I was yelling out at everyone who could hear, who would listen. Like, where were you during the dark times?
Well, granted, you were drunk walking down the street of Gaslamp.
I was, but I meant it. I'm like, where were these
Allegedly.
people in the dark times, you know?
we're gonna hashtag that. We're gonna have to put that on a T-shirt. Hashtag where were you during the dark times?
So yeah, I mean, yeah. I forgot what the whole point of that was, but yeah.
Really, the during that era,
Rise of the geek.
1997 and 2008. Yeah, definitely none. At least for my knowledge, the four of us and Nelson really, we didn't buy comic books.
No,
because we were going through all these other stages of life.
Yeah.
No, I met my wife on our second date. We went out, and she went, yeah, I just got back from a Star Trek convention a couple weeks ago, and I almost got down on one knee right there.
marry me.
I went, finally, a hot woman that's a nerd. It's taken me so long.
When I find my one and only someone.
Oh. Quit being an asshole. Maybe you'll find one.
Thanks, Dick.
No, Red. No, ladies out there, anyone listening to the podcast, Red's a wonderful man. You really want him on your team. He is
I'm not.
Beautiful.
All right, let's get back to the comic book talk, guys.
This is
Nelson,
interesting, though. Come on, we talk about comic books from 8 to 5 every day.
Well, with Nelson being in Texas, I mean, have you hit up artists in Texas to do some covers?
Oh yeah, Ariel Diaz did a cover for Big Time Collectibles.
nice. We just interviewed her, actually.
Oh, cool.
Last week, yeah.
He did a
she is
cover
phenomenal.
Zombie Tramp. Number 69. Of course, you gotta do an exclusive for some.
Yeah, for 69, of course.
It's a magical
And,
number.
Yep, and Vampirella, number 12, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, that was
Vampirella,
BTC.
nice.
Yeah, she talked about the Vampirella one. I didn't know it was for BTC. Oh, that's awesome. Hey, look, when Texas connects.
Yep.
We love Ariel Diaz.
Well, I think we've covered everything that we really wanted to cover. Eman has some rapid fire questions for you, sir. Are you ready to answer them?
Yeah, sure.
Nelson, this is the section of our show where we call the rapid fire questions. We're going to be asking you 10 questions, not comic book related, to get everyone who knows you in the comic book world to get to know you outside of the comic book world. A little bit personal, but not too personal. Nelson, are you ready, my friend?
Yes, I am.
All right. Number 1, favorite childhood toy.
Transformers.
Best junk food to get the day going.
Chips.
When you put on your pants, do you put on your left leg or your right leg first?
Right.
And what is your favorite home-cooked meal?
Sinigang. No
Nice.
baboy.
There you go.
What's your favorite vacation destination?
Mexico.
Favorite basketball team?
The Dallas Mavericks.
Craft beer or San Miguel beer?
San Miguel beer.
Boxers, briefs, or commando?
Commando.
Barbecue, dry rub, or sauce?
Dry rub.
And the final question: who makes the best adobo?
My wife.
Okay, good
Oh,
answer.
There you go.
let me ask one. Joe Coy or Rex Navarrete?
Oh, they're both good. That's a hard question right there. I would say Choco.
Joe
Jokoi.
Coy. All right.
I'm a Joe Coy guy myself.
Jokoi.
Yeah. All right, guys. Is there anything else that you guys wanted to ask Nelson before we end the show?
Is there a exclusive you want to share with us that's coming up for sale on your website here soon?
Anything
Right.
that you can leak.
We
Anything.
put up Star Wars War of the Bounty Hunters #1 by Chris Sprouse. That's a pretty good cover.
Great cover. Yeah, really great.
Sprouse. And then the upcoming ones is going to be Something is Killing the Children, #16 by Miko Sen.
Oh,
I'll show you guys that cover later on our Facebook message, but I can't show it publicly because I'm not allowed to. Yeah.
we got denied for that one. They said you no, you can't do children.
It
Go
stays
away,
in the
go
group,
away.
so it's a friend DA. It's a friend DA.
Friendly.
You're gonna have Ice Cream Man #25 by John Jang, 26 by Kale New, and 27 by all three of them. Jam cover.
There it is.
Wow.
My heart is
Officially
beating for
announced.
that one.
we could
announced
post
right there.
all this, right? Can we post this what you're telling us? Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, we have Kale New working on cable #12 right now.
Oh wow.
Wow.
I mean, I'd buy anything of his. He's like the Mike Tyson of comic art right now.
I couldn't understand I couldn't believe that a lot of retailers have not realized that Kale is pretty good at the tech stuff, motorcycles and all that kind of stuff, machinery. He's gonna do a freaking badass cable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
can totally
I'm
see
ready
it.
for that one.
That's
Big
awesome.
gun. I wish I could show you guys the
Didn't he just
Oh.
do a Batman? Didn't he just do a Batman with a motorcycle?
that was pretty cool. I've seen that
Yeah.
one. Yeah.
Yeah,
Anything
that was
he
like
does,
a
I'm
that was
ready.
like a Prince tribute because it was like almost like the Purple Rain cover.
Yep.
It was the
I hear it.
Batman,
Alan-
the detective, I think.
Chua is working on my Deadpool, Black, White, and Blood.
Oh wow!
Yes,
Oh
Okay.
man.
dude, Alan Qua is the master.
Everyone has heard it here first on the C-List Villains podcast. The BTC, Big Time Collectibles, has a bunch of exclusives coming out, and you heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen.
It really makes me happy. I love all of the John Jang, Alan Qua, Kel Neal. I'm just excited to get to cons and meet these guys. I mean, I'm ready.
I know, right?
We're ready to go.
Well, if that's what you want to do, Cowtown, July, we're gonna have Cowtown here in Texas.
Okay.
I'm bringing in John Jang and Miko Sawayan. So if you guys want to meet them, hey, go to Texas in July. They'll be
Okay.
there, and I'll make sure if you guys shows up there, I'll make sure you guys will have time to interview them.
Oh man,
Live.
look at that. Look, so we have to get our equipment set up, you guys. We got to make sure that we have all the
Nelson,
microphones and everything.
I think I might. Can I get your cell phone number?
And with that being said, Nelson, we want to thank you again for coming on the show. We definitely need to have you back to talk more comic books, talk about life. I feel as though there's more to you than just talking about comic books, and there's a lot of life lessons that you can give us.
Yep.
And we definitely want to have you back. But with that being said, where can people get a hold of you? Give them your website, your Instagram, and all that stuff so that people can get contact with you as far as your store and everything.
Okay, mainly the store is bigtimecollectibles.com. We also have a Facebook group. If you're a member of our Facebook group, we usually give 10% discount on pre-orders of our newest exclusive. So if you're a member, you get your 10% discount all the time. Also, we are active in Instagram, Big Time Collectibles, Twitter, Also, it's Big Time Collect on Twitter and Facebook. Like I said, Big Time Collectibles. And then if customers have any issue with their orders and you need some answers, we got a customer service named John Brock. He's doing a hell of a job answering emails within 24 to 48 hours. If you have any question, check with John Brock and he'll give you good answers if you have any inquiries. And that's important. When customer emails, you gotta send a reply within 24 to 48 business hours.
Yeah,
Right.
you do.
Great customer service right there.
All right, guys. And with that being said, again, we want to thank you, John. We want to thank you again,
Nelson.
Nelson, we want to thank you for coming on the show.
Yeah, I've been called worse. Don't worry. You can call me John. You can call me.
I don't know what I was thinking. I've had a long day. Sorry about that, man.
At least you didn't call him putang anymore.
Stop.
Again, thank you for coming on the show. And again, for all listeners, make sure you follow his store on Facebook, Instagram, his website. And thank you all our listeners for tuning in. We'll see
Pick
you
up
guys
that
next-
TMNT 101 for that story.
Thanks again for listening to another episode of the C-List Villains Podcast, your cultivators of the comic culture. Make sure you follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and subscribe to our podcast on iTunes and Spotify. All you got to do is search for C-List Villains. If you want to send us an email, you can contact us at clistvillains@gmail.com. Make sure you follow Luke Weeks on Facebook and Instagram, and join his Facebook group, Rare Keys and First Appearance Comics, also known as RKFA Comics. I'm your host AJ, and you can find me on Instagram, AJ the Comic Collector. Thank you, and see you next episode.